Hi, everybody. This is Kevin Martin. I'm here with Jennifer Phillips Russo. This is our weekly podcast update with the Lake Erie Regional GRAPE Program. Thank you for joining us again this week. In these unusual times, we continue to record what we call this Zoom podcast. So one of the things we want to do is to get ready for the growing season. I think when we first started this, we figured, hey, maybe we'll just cancel a coffee pot meeting or two. And now we're really just not sure how far into the growing season that this event is going to extend and how much our travel activities are going to be restricted. So we have some news on coffee pot updates. And with that, I will turn it over to Jen and she can provide some of that information.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Okay, so we were worried actually with this COVID-19 that coffee pots would be canceled altogether. It is an already pre-approved course. There's some hoops we need to jump through the DEC in order to be able to offer you some recertification pesticide credits. So what had happened was a lot of colleagues of mine from Cornell and myself have been working very closely with them to see if we can actually modify our already approved courses to put them on a virtual platform. So that means Zoom. And they've okayed that with some definite modifications in the background, because in the past you've had to present us your pesticide applicator license and we need to record it and see you in person, and you need to be there and alert and asking questions in order for us to give you your pesticide credits after that. So in order to do so, we're moving them to a Zoom webinar. You're going to have to pre-register. I don't want you to get nervous. I promise we will have enough information out there in writing to help you walk through. Kevin, you look like you were saying no.
No, there was just a bird just flew into my window.
Oh, did you duck?
It scared me a little bit, so I did move. But about that, Jennifer, so we have open office hours right now, and we conduct those with a piece of software called Zoom Meetings. Right. And we send out a link, you click the link, and it prompts you to download some software. And that's it. So once you have that software, it's just a link. This is a little bit different. This is a Zoom webinar, and we could talk a little bit about why we have to do it that way. But the first thing that means is the link is different. It's not the stable link we have set up for our office hours. It is a stable link just for coffee pots, but this is a link that we will send out to you that is for registration for signing up to attend these meetings.
Let me show you quickly what this link is going to look like so that you have an idea when it shows up in your email box. Can you see that there?
Yes, I can.
Okay. This is the exact words that you will see from the email asking you to register for the webinar for the coffee pots. And you will click. I wonder if it'll work. I haven't even tried it. We just have this all set up yesterday and today. You will have to click this link here and it will take you to this webinar registration. Right.
So,
and go ahead.
Yeah, so just to add, once you complete this registration, first name, last name, email address, and because Jennifer already has Zoom, it's filled out a lot of this for her. It wouldn't necessarily do that. But once you register, you'll be emailed a link to actually join the webinar or webinars. As you can see, they occur every week at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. That will be a unique link for every person who registers. So you can't share it with anybody and ask them to join our coffee pot meetings. They need to register on their own. So every single person who registers will receive a unique link to join the webinar. Just want to make that clear.
Before I stop sharing my screen with you, I also want to point out that we have been approved for 1 New York State pesticide credit and 2 Pennsylvania recertification credits. So they're both recertification credits there.
Awesome.
So the reason, I don't think there's anything else I want to show you on this screen, so I'm going to stop sharing it. So the reason why this has to be different, and the only way we can give you credits for these through the DEC is if we follow their rules and modifications, is when we normally had our coffee pot credit or meetings, you would have to give us your applicator license and we'd write down the number and we physically saw you and then you were engaged in our conversation. So in order to do so, it has to be a webinar format because the webinar formats actually track your engagement. So please make sure that yes, you have us up and you're paying attention and you're not looking off on another screen or doing something differently because somehow it knows. So
well, and it's just to be clear, one of the important things to know is to understand how the technology works. if you have a Zoom meeting open and you minimize that meeting, or let's say you have two monitors, you highlight another window, like you check your email and then you just look back and continue to watch the video. Unless you open up Zoom, so it's the thing that you last clicked on, it will think that you're not paying attention. So that's a limit of the technology, but what we need you to do is to not really use your computer for other things while you're attending the Zoom meeting. We're not necessarily going to require 100% participation rate, meaning that the Zoom is maximized for 60 out of the 60 minutes. But if you do accidentally not highlight the Zoom because you can see it anyway, the video feed anyway, it will register your participation as 0 for all of those minutes, which will make it look like to the DEC that you're not paying attention. So it is important to understand how that technology does work. So my recommendation would be, if you really want credits, just make sure you're not using your computer for other things during the webinar.
Right, thank you for that clarification. What I want to add also is, normally we take it, you take your license, write down your number. We're going to spell this all out for you. This is all new, just recently was approved. So we're just going through the process of fine tuning and moving everything to a virtual platform. We will send you out instructions as we get closer to the date on how to, you're going to have to take a picture of your applicator license and yourself. And we're going to need them emailed to us. We haven't quite decided what email address to use yet, because we are anticipating this being larger than normal, seeing as how this is going to be a virtual platform and not traveling to a part of our region. We could possibly pick up more people than we normally would. And also, we're going to have some unique opportunities that I'm excited for, and that's to bring in guest speakers, and not just guest speakers in viticulture, but guest speakers also in enology, from Cornell University and Penn State University, and hopefully other universities across our country. I'm not sure about international, maybe James will pop in, but is there anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing I would add is, please make sure, if you do want to attend these meetings and receive credit, just make sure you register for them, and we'll use that registration list to remind you of some of the other requirements, like sending a picture of your pesticide applicator license. And also, when you attend the webinar, make sure you have your pesticide applicator license handy, because the DEC wants us to take a look at it during the webinar. And so that does mean, typically with Zoom, there are some options for calling in over the phone. We will actually need you to have a video connection so that we can see your applicator license. Now, none of this is necessary if you just want to attend a coffee pot meeting, and you can still do that. You'll need to register, but you won't need to pay attention if you don't want to. You won't need to send your pesticide applicator license. You'll just need to attend the meeting in any way that you want to. You'll still be able to call in. We just won't be able to give you credit if you do it that way.
But at least I'm excited that we can offer credits this year for those who need them. So.
Yeah, it is going to be a little trickier. You know, there's going to be some paperwork involved because it's electronic now. But yeah, this is really the best we could do because it really looked like in a lot of the states, and New York included, that there weren't going to be very many pesticide applicator opportunities at all.
More meetings in person.
Yeah, and if you saw that registration page, I just wanted to note, we do have the okay. We do have the okay on the Pennsylvania side for all of the coffee pot meetings as well, with the exception of the first one. We're still waiting on them to decide because it is so close that we need some special permission. But I anticipate we'll get credits for all of those meetings in Pennsylvania as well.
And the meetings are every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Starting May 6th and running through July 31st. That's a credit for each one. So if you wanted to come every Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah, and just a note there, we did make one change to the schedule. So that's basically our normal coffee pot schedule, except if you recall, in the past few years, we've done 2-a-days. So we do have those afternoon coffee pot meetings in the heart of the growing season. We won't be doing those. If you did fall in love with afternoon coffee pot meetings, which I don't think most people did, I think we did, you know, we polled you guys and you said mornings were better. The Finger Lakes Grape program will probably be doing something similar. They lean towards the afternoons. Pennsylvania, their grape team, the statewide grape team, the same thing. They will be leaning towards afternoons and doing something, not necessarily once a week, but it'll be Wednesday afternoons. I think the Finger Lakes will probably be on a Tuesday or a Thursday. So there are going to be plenty of these, what were regional program team open forum discussion webinar style things available electronically to you. So we will get you that information as it becomes available as well. So if you do really like afternoons, we can get you those. Our coffee pot meetings will not be, but it'll be easy to remember. It'll just be 10 a.m. Wherever you want to take a call from, wherever you have a decent internet connection. So you don't have to come to us. So that part of it's good.
And you can pick and choose which ones you want to go to as well.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah. You're registering for all of them. You don't have to attend all of them. Just like Jennifer said, pick and choose.
And hopefully we'll have a schedule of the guest speakers out so that you can possibly choose which ones you want to go to from that.
Yes, we'll get there. I think some of this was a little bit last minute for the early March meetings. Because we might have some guest speakers there. We might not get a good chance to advertise them as well as we want. But we weren't really sure how that was going to work with the DEC. So we did get it done, but we'll have a guest speaker list for later on in the growing season as soon as we can.
And if you guys have any topics that you would be interested in hearing about, we could possibly line up some guest speakers to address them. So please feel free to email either Kevin or I with suggestions.
Absolutely. And the other thing to keep in mind is we do want this to be as much like a coffee pot as we can. And I think we all understand that that's going to be difficult. So hopefully the guest speakers provide you with some new information and that makes it easy to spur some discussion. But we also want you to contact us during our office hours or email. We'd love for you to submit questions and pictures ahead of time to help spur discussion. And then the other thing is, once you do participate, please feel free to treat this as an open discussion as much as you feel comfortable. We can, we'll have video feeds, we can unmute people, and everybody can talk as much as they want to talk, and we can get all those questions answered. I know that that's going to be a little more difficult electronically, trying to do this over the web. We certainly see that in our daily lives, and we're used to working with this technology every day. So please do your best to feel comfortable. I think it'll benefit all the growers if we try our best to do it that way. And feel free to participate in that more interactive way. But again, email pictures, questions, whatever you want ahead of time, and we'll be happy to answer those for everybody.
I agree. Well, perfect. Thank you, everybody. I hope that helps. Please reach out with any questions and don't be scared or nervous about it. We'll try to make it as painless as possible.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Jennifer. Thank you all for joining us this week, and we will see you again next week.
Have a great day.